Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another one of my budgeting videos. I am not filming at home. I'm at my mom's place. I'm visiting for 2 weeks. It is like 1 in the morning. I have to talk really quietly because she's sleeping, and I am filming this sitting on the bed in the spare room. The book is actually balanced on an Eeyore, and the cat is just over to the side having a bite to eat. So I'm very sorry for the weirdness of this video in terms of location and the fact that I'm holding it at the phone and it's not on a tripod, and just how awkward it might be. I couldn't really figure out a better time to film though, because I don't want to interrupt my mom during the day by asking her to be quiet so I can record, and this is the best that I have. So we're gonna go through. I've actually already done the budget, as you can see. So I'm just going to be showing you everything that I did, what the expenses are, and how it all worked out. This is going to be the budget for my May 16th paycheck. It's a 3 paycheck month this month in May. So I have the 2nd over here, the 16th here, and then I'll do the next one on the next page. So that's why they're sort of crowded a little bit more together. Oh, here we go. Company. This may get a little bit of help, this video. We shall see. Okay, so I started my balance with $2,101.34. Because there's 3 paychecks this month, I pulled out a third of rent, just like I did last paycheck, instead of a half. So that was $433.34, leaving me with $1,668. Sorry for the shadow. That was Striker walking past. Oh no. Sorry, guys. I still have the rollover of $432.97 that I still haven't moved over into an account. At this point, I don't think I'm going to. I'm just keeping track of it here. So I pulled out the rollover, leaving me now with $1,235.03. I accounted for the SUV payment that will go out Tuesday. So that's $266.72, putting me down to $968.31. My line of credit, my strategy for it this time, instead of paying the minimum monthly payment every paycheck, I can't afford that. What I did was I took the minimum monthly payment, added $100 and divided by 2, and then that's how much I paid on the May 2nd paycheck budget, and on this one as well, because I was finding that I was tending to pay in the first paycheck of the month the minimum monthly payment, and in the second paycheck I was really only managing to be able to pay about $100. So this way I'm still paying that same amount, but it's a better distribution over the 2 paychecks. Now, because it is a 3 paycheck month, I didn't want to divide it by 3, like the same way that I did, say, with the rent, just because the due date for the line of credit payment will be before the 3rd paycheck. So I still did it as halves, and then the 3rd paycheck will just be sort of a bonus payment for this month as best as I can afford. Cell phone is $60. I owed $11.19 on my Neo card. Striker has $33.12 in his budget. So now that's got me down to $644.36. And I just have to pan up because he's right there and he's so cute. And he's wondering why I'm not sleeping. Sinking funds, $176. I'll go over those in a moment. And cash, my digital cash envelopes, $110, which is a lot lower than normal. I will go over that in a moment as well. That brought me down to $358.36. And then I put $180 onto the Visa, bringing me down to $178.36, which is a huge buffer for me. I'm going to explain how this happened and what's going on and why this budget is a little bit more different than normal, not just because of the rent, but a couple other things. So I've got, if I can get these from the cat, sorry, holding the phone and doing this is a little awkward. Let me try to separate these. Here, look at the cat while I do this. Okay, I'll start with the sinking funds because they're pretty normal. My car insurance, tenant insurance, tech, sinking fund, travel, Dragon Boat presents, and emergency. I funded them all as $176, which is right there, $176. My digital cash envelopes, because I'm on vacation, I'm pulling money from my travel fund because I budgeted for this vacation. I don't know that I'll have enough, but I'm going to do my best to stick within what I have budgeted. That meant that the money I'm putting into my cash envelopes doesn't have to be as high as normal. So for instance, this next 2 weeks I don't have any physio, so I didn't have to put any money into physio. Anything that I'm doing with friends, going out, having fun or whatnot will be coming out of my travel money. So I did still put $20 into the fun category, but I don't intend on spending that money while I'm in Edmonton, which is where my mom is. I mean, I might, but it's not really intended for that. Miscellaneous, same sort of a thing. Things that I'm buying here, which would normally go under miscellaneous, are going out of my travel fund. So I funded money into there because it was at a zero and I wanted to get it away from zero balance, but I'm not intending on spending that in the next 10 weeks. I only put $20 to groceries. My mom will not let me contribute to groceries, but I am going to be taking her out for a couple meals over the span of the visit. Having said that, we are eating for the most part in. She cooks beautiful food. I love her cooking and I miss her cooking, and she likes to cook for more than just herself. So we just sort of stay in. She cooks, she teaches me how to cook because I'm horrible, and I take notes so I can try to recreate it, and it's never as good as what she does. But it did mean I didn't have to put as much money into groceries. I did put my full amount for Stryker's category because of course I did, and transportation I gave $20. So it came to a total of $110, which is where that is right there. So this right here is part of the reason, well, it's the whole reason why I'm putting $180 to the Visa. My Visa has gotten racked up a bit. Now, some of it is already charges from the trip, like gas for the road trip. I drove here, in case you're wondering. And then some other expenses because I've already done some shopping. So I kind of, at the end of every couple days, I sit down and I track out my shopping, and then I move money from my travel fund to my Visa card. But pre the vacation, I had some charges on the card. So I was trying to figure out what to do and how to get them down. Some of them were being paid out of various sinking funds, like I pulled from my tech sinking fund to go towards paying for my antivirus software that I use and my mom uses and her friend uses. There was something else on there. I think I had a couple charges because I hadn't had a chance to do my budget yet before I was leaving, because I drove on the Saturday, and on the Friday, which was payday, I saw like a friend after work and did a couple errands. So I just put the money, sorry, not the money, I put the charges onto the credit card, knowing that when I did the budget, I would then take from the appropriate cash fund or sinking fund to pay it back. Having said that, there's still more owing on the credit card that I'm comfortable with, and I really want to be working to pay that down. And I decided that since I'm not having to fully fund my groceries right now, or my fun, or really any of these categories except for Stryker and transportation, the difference in money from what would normally be my cash envelopes to what my cash envelopes are this particular paycheck went on to the Visa card. So that's where that $180 came from. Now I still have $178.36 left over. That I'm attributing mostly to the fact that I only pulled out a third of rent and the slightly lower way that I calculate out the line of credit. I am very much wanting to take a good chunk of that to put it onto the line of credit or put it onto the Visa, just put it somewhere, have it being useful instead of just sitting there. But I'm going to leave it there so that if something goes wrong with the budgeting, or I don't have enough money in the travel fund to cover all the expenses of the trip, things like that, I will have sort of extra money sitting here that I can use towards those expenses so that I'm not putting myself into credit card debt to pay for the trip. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense to me for the most part. But yeah, so this is my budget for my May 16th paycheck. Sorry I didn't get to film it the way I normally do, where I'm actually writing it out and going over it. I know it's a little bit different when I just sit here talking to you about it and you can see it all out there. I do have a bunch of other expenses that were paid out of sinking funds just because things got charged at that time of the year, as well as I am keeping track of my expenses from the trip. Those are going to be on some separate videos though, just because I only have brief windows of time to record, so I can't really combine things like that right now. So I'm going to give you one last look at the cat, because he really is one of the best parts of my day. He traveled very well on the road trip. I was very proud of him. He's a very good little man. So this is the budget. That is the cat. Thank you so very much for following along with my budgeting videos. Again, I do apologize for the way that this one is getting filmed, but it's the best that I can do, and basically all my budgeting videos while I'm on vacation at my mom's are going to be filmed like this. So brace yourself if you really hated this, having the book balanced on an Eeyore and a cat in the background. I'm really sorry. The next 2 or 3 videos are going to be the same. So thank you so much for following. I hope that your budgets are going really well and everything is tracking and coming together for you. And if you're working on paying off debt, that is also coming together for you and you're making headway on that. I will talk to all of you in the next video. Stay safe, everybody. Bye.